Welcome again to Printscape Arena at South Point. This is Matt Gajtka on the call for High School Hockey Night Live on 10 Band TV. And should I say welcome back to those of you who watched our opening game between Peters Township and Upper St. Clair. Won by Upper St. Clair 6-5 in overtime on a Colin Ruffner rush down the left wing. We can only hope that the game two can live up to that sort of drama. Well, at least in one way, one of these teams in Canon Mac is almost literally playing for their playoff lives right now. Looking for a lifeline are the Big Macs, as they've dropped 5 in a row, but they return to home ice here with a record of 2-10-1, 11th place out of 11 teams. It's not going to be an easy task tonight as they try to make up the 6 points that separate them from the 8th and final playoff spot in Class AAA with the Central Catholic Vikings in town. The Vikes at 9-5-1 on the season and just 2 points out of first place. They can actually vault themselves into a 4-way tie for first place with a win tonight against Canon Mac. Again, thank you for joining us. This broadcast brought to you by the Academy of Podiatry, a Week 15 sponsor here on our broadcast on 10 Band TV. Catholic Central coming out in the purple, well, bluish purple with the gold helmets and gold numbers. They're down to our right warming up, and to our left, Kenan McMillan in the traditional home white jerseys with the blue and gold trim. As we see Matt Lyons' bunch, the Big Macs, try to rebound from what has been a challenging stretch here lately. Going back to Thanksgiving weekend when they beat North Allegheny here 3-2 in overtime, it has been trouble for Canon Mac. They lost 7-1 to Peters Township. They lost 6-4 to North Allegheny, 5-0 to Upper St. Clair in a game we saw here on 10 Band TV, 6-2 to Cathedral Prep in a game that we also had here on 10 Band, and then last week 4-2 at Upper St. Clair. So that's 5 losses in a row. That's 8 losses in their last 9 games after their lone regulation win of the season on October the 25th, 5-3 against Mount Lebo. So here they are. They get to welcome Central Catholic to the rink. Their first meeting against the Vikings went Central Catholic's way, a 7-2 win for CC and their head coach Bill Connolly, who is an alma mater of the school and the program. Central Catholic has a record of 9-5-1, and they are led by a couple of seniors in the goal-scoring category. Number 22, Sam Gaffney, has 8 on the year with 17 total points, and number 39, Dante Scalise, also has 8 goals to go with 13 assists for a team best, 21 points. Also on the blue line, senior number 8, Beckham Alger, has 14 points, including 10 assists, which rank second on the entire squad. And their goaltender, senior Jacob Dold, who wears number 1. We've seen him, I believe, for 4 seasons now at the varsity level in the PIHL. He sports a .911 save percentage that's second best among starters in Class AAA, a 2.39 goals against average, also second best, and a league-leading 4 shutouts. No one else has more than 2 shutouts. Dold's got 4. Central Catholic all year has been excellent defensively. They let in a few more recently, as for a while they were the top team in terms of goals against per game. But 2 out of the last 3, they've allowed more than 2, which has been a rarity on the year, including last game for Central Catholic. They were on the road at the Spencer Family YMCA where they lost 5-2 to Bethel Park. That ended a 2-game win streak in a stretch in which they won 3 out of 4. But every new game is an opportunity, and there you see on the Central Catholic jerseys the commemorative 50th season patch. Yes, they played 50 years of varsity hockey at Central Catholic with those distinctive helmets with the Viking horns on the side. And looking forward to this matchup, second and final matchup of the regular season between these two squads. And there you see Beckham Alger, the captain of Central Catholic. These are some good-looking unis right there. You don't often see the word mark on hockey jerseys. Usually it's like what Canon Mac has with the crest, the logo on the front. But it can look good in 2 different ways, and we're finding that out right now. Well, Central Catholic still has 4 games after this, but they've played the most games. They will have played the most games, tied with North Allegheny in AAA after tonight. So even though, like I said, they can tie for first place with a win this evening of any kind, They do have to make the most of their chances now because Peters Township and Seneca Valley, two teams that are tied for first, also have games in hand. PT's got 2 games in hand after its 6-5 overtime loss this evening, and Seneca Valley's got 1 game in hand. But those are things to worry about at a different time, at a different place. As of right now, the objective, put the puck in the other guy's net and keep it out of yours as we prepare for the opening faceoff. 17 minutes loaded on the clock. We're getting started about 15 minutes past the scheduled time due to the extended nature of the first game, which also included a Hall of Fame ceremony for the 2002-03 Peters Township State Championship team that was inducted into the PA High School Hockey Hall of Fame. So we're off and rolling with Sam Gaffney on the puck for Central Catholic in behind the net. It's the second trip of the season for Central Catholic into Printscape as the puck is dislodged from the net that was in there from warm-up, I believe. I guess kind of a slipshod cleanup job. Well, sometimes the puck can get stuck in that padding along the ice inside the net is what I'm talking about. If you played hockey, you know what I'm referring to. It can actually get jammed there rather easily. As I was saying, this is the second trip of the season as the shot goes wide off the faceoff win. In here to Printscape for Central Catholic. They lost 5-1 to Peters Township. First time in, and here's a chance for a one-timer that was denied on the quick setup. Dante Scalise trying to get his 9th of the year. Side of the goal. And well, here's a surprise for us. Starting tonight for the first time this year, playing tonight for the first time this year, Patrick Lettieri, senior goalie, number 40. No stats on the season, obviously, but he gets a look here against Canon Mac from Coach Bill Connolly. Okay. So all that stuff I told you about Jacob Dold, forget it. It's Patrick Lettieri. And he has played prior to this season. See if I can dig up some of his older numbers as the game progresses today. We're nearly a minute into this one. Central Catholic had the first couple of chances on net. Here in our nightcap, 9 o'clock-ish start here in the South Hills. Adam Scarilli launched it ahead. Canon Mac led in scoring by Zach Wilcox, number 38. So right now, Max Hart is out there with Scarilli. Scarilli listed as a defenseman, but he's playing forward again today for Coach Matt Lyons. Reaching down to try to take this one, Griffin Lewis could not. Lewis on the second line for Central Catholic. Josh Moline pumped one off target. Backhand play by Braden Edgar. Good to see him back in the lineup. He missed a couple of games. As this shoot-in goes into the near corner. Edgar, the freshman, a lot of freshmen on this Canon Mac squad, but he's the most prolific of them with 6 assists. Tops on this team. 29 goals for and 61 against for Canon Mac. And there's a stuff try at the far side. That's pinned down and held by James Morgan, who gets another start. He has a record of 2-8-1 on the year, .853 save percentage, and a 4.18 goals against. No shutouts for Mr. Morgan. Canon Mac trying for its first win of calendar year 2023. Point shot, careens wide. So the goaltending matchup, Morgan against Lettieri. Deflected score! I think Scalise got a piece of that shot from the point it came from Rocco Salvitti. The senior D ripped it toward the goal. Scalise was in the right above the crease, low slot area. As you'll see here on the replay between the hash marks, he planted those skates, and yeah, he got that either with his stick or perhaps a leg pad, maybe part of his pants. Either way, it's his 9th of the year. Scalise scores at even strength. 2 minutes and 13 seconds into this one. Give Salvitti his 4th assist of the year. And Central Catholic has the start it's looking for. Already a much better start than its first trip in here. And there's the goal scorer, Dante Scalise. Cross rink. Now Salvitti tees up another one, and it goes wide of the net. Rebound off the sharp angle, and a stop made by Morgan. When I say Salvitti tees one up, I mean it literally. Rocco Salvitti played in the USGA event this summer. I believe it was it the mid-amateur? I can't recall now offhand. But Salvitti, an accomplished golfer. He's played in quite a few local and regional events as well. Bouncing pass up the far wing. Scalise couldn't take that. Back in come the Big Macs. But Dominic Tricana goes down on a heap. Tricana has also missed some recent games, and he's another leading scorer for this Canon Mac squad with 8 points on the season. Wilcox leads the team with 11. Backhand dish from Salvitti. That was broken up before it got to the net, and goaltender James Morgan. Salvitti one more time, put it right through the crease into the mix, but no one gets a stick to that with 13-17 to go in the first. Jammed below the goal line by Edgar of Canon Mac. Scarilli holding it there, but he's pinned as well. Now Edgar to the line, shot by Chalet, and it's gobbled up by Lettieri. I believe that's his first real save of this game, first real save of the season. So David Chalet, who's playing defense, listed as a forward, so we've seen some shuffling of positions here. Of course, it's the coach's prerogative. That's only a guide for us broadcasters and fans. This is icing against Central Catholic. All right, so Scalise scores. And Central Catholic pushing back here after a couple of rough seasons near the bottom of the standings. Evan Ben Scotter gets the secondary assist on that goal, by the way. Rimmed around the wood and forced out by the Vikings. Lamego picking his way forward. Lamego took the snapshot, missed it over the bar. But a strong move by Brendan Lamego, freshman defenseman. Like I said, plenty of ninth graders on this home squad tonight. And Fabian drives right to the net. That's where Morgan grabs the puck, pins it down with his glove. Fabian went careening right into the goal, knocking it off its pegs. Just the one freshman in the lineup tonight for Central Catholic. That's the forward, Aaron Daly, on the fourth line. I actually got a line chart from Central Catholic delivered to me via Twitter DM this afternoon. Now that's service. And service with a smile. At least I was smiling when I saw that. Always makes my job easier when you know who's playing where. Backhand by Grayson Costa, intercepted by Central Catholic. Rounding his goal and turning up ice, Griffin Lewis. Cross-ring dish trying to find Noah Fritz. That didn't work. Ritz back there, bouncing play off the goaltender. Now picked up by Lewis again. Out to the line, snapshot. Morgan makes the save on Nathan Cox. James Morgan has seen a lot of shots this year. Another attempt from out by the point. Tyler Gaffney this time. There are two Gaffneys on this squad as well. Sam, the senior forward. Tyler, the senior defenseman. Tyler's got 8 points as well. So he's no slouch when it comes to generating offense, even if he does play D. Just below the goal line, Anthony Petrillo couldn't catch up to it for Canon Mac. 6 minutes gone in the first period. Scalise's deflection goal, the only one so far on the board, as Morgan gloves this bouncer and elects to hold at the side of his net. No penalties yet in this game. The shots are 6-1 in favor of Central Catholic. And if you didn't catch the first game of the doubleheader, Upper St. Clair beat Peters Township 6-5 in overtime, so PT gets a point, but Upper St. Clair keeps pushing. They're now just a couple of points out of 5th place. This puck goes out of play, stopping the clock with 10:52 to go in the first period. My name is Matt Gajtka, and it's my second season calling games for 10-Band TV and Todd Kazarowski and his crew on hand, and it's been a real pleasure. As we get into the second half of the year, starting to get closer to playoff time, you can start talking about situations and possible matchups, although at the top of the standings in the PIHL AAA. That's a tough one to pick out right now as Franzik backhands this one over the crossbar. A little flip shot on the centering play from Wilcox. Wilcox wanted to dish it below the goal line, was picked off. And Canon Mac's got to start again. Banked too far for Franzik again. And here's Salvitti one more time. His backhand does not get in the zone. Franzik leaning in against Ben Scotter. Right to the front, bouncing up in the air, turning chance, and Leteri, makes the stop on the sharp angle drive right near the wall by Ben Vitodian. So on the schedule for Central Catholic, Upper St. Clair, they'll host them on Thursday. So two teams who are much improved this year and looking like real contenders in AAA will be squaring off. That'll be a good one if you're in the Harmerville area. That's where the Vikings play their home games. Also the home of Pitt and Duquesne club hockey. Daly knocks it back to the line. Given away, though, by the Vikings. Daly couldn't knock that down out of midair, but his teammate Noah Ritz gathers it at center ice. Ritz on the play back to Billy George, sophomore D, and now George and Griffin Lewis have to go back for it. Pardon, that's Nathan Cox, I should say, his partner. Snapshot from the circle. Rebound goes just wide off the stick of Dorazio. Anthony Dorazio has 3 goals on the season. Backhanded right toward the front by George. Dorazio behind the goal. Daly. And the Vikings have to retreat to center ice. Shoot it right back in. Played offside, but they clear the zone. Chalet on the high flip for Canon Mac. Right back to Chalet, his backhander, intercepted. Taken on by Alger. Swirling a backhand, a shot pass right toward the front. Didn't connect to anyone. Stepping up Joel Fabian. Emerges out this near side, makes the pass out to the point, D-to-D feed. Alger, right on goal, and that's off of the goaltender Morgan, I believe, and cleared by the Big Macs. Down the length for a whistle on an icing with just under 8 to go in the first. We'll get a look here at Alex Sarkis. Third line center, won the faceoff, and what a shot that was. Went right over the netminder. Joel Fabian got all of that, did he not? Could not fire it home, though. He wired it. Now into the corner. And up to this near side. Drop back to the point. Isbell goes cross rink. And the rip shot from O'Donohue didn't get through. Pivich pries it loose for Central Catholic. Now it's Alger taking a look. On the high toss, back into Canon Mac real estate. Once again, it's Dylan Isbell, freshman D-man. Over to O'Donohue, the sophomore. In some trouble there. Now he kicks it along, but right to a Viking. Gaffney shot. Stop made by Morgan on the rush. Back behind the goal. Gaffney looking to find a man in the middle. Instead, it's around to this near wing. Back out to the point, and Salvitti set up the first goal. Shot save, rebound, score! Salvitti gets another assist, and Sam Gaffney plugs it home. So first we see Scalise tipping it in, and now Gaffney cleaning up the garbage at the side of the net. Both men have their 9th goals of the season here in period number 1, and Central Catholic leads 2-0. So here's Salvitti changing the angle. And I think it was Gaffney. Yes, it was, getting the last touch to it. Although Evan Benscotter was right there as well. That top line gets it done again. Scalise, Gaffney, and Benscotter, the top trio for Coach Connolly. They nudge one in once more. So the Vikings now regather here. Salvitti goes across with this pass over to Gaffney. From the corner, top line stays out there. Scalise to Benscotter right out in front. And a good chance for Gaffney, but he couldn't gather it in until he'd already faded away too far from the net to get a shot off. That was a realistic scoring chance. Gaffney from Salvitti is the scoring on the goal exactly 8 minutes after Scalise scored for Central Catholic, opening things up in this game. Another even strength goal. No icing here on the neutral zone shoot-in. Turned over. Scalise right to the front looking for Gaffney, and it's tipped away from him. And the net appears to be dislodged. Yes, it is, with 5:32 left in the first period. James Morgan says, oh, it's not my fault. I'm trying to keep this thing in position. I guess it's all right. Referee Hendry said something over to his partner, Scrates. Hendry and Scrates, your duo assigned to keep law and order in this game, just as they were in the first game between Peters Township and Upper St. Clair. Another AAA doubleheader from Printscape Arena. Thank you for joining us on 10-Band TV. Josh Moline knocks it free, and here's Nathan Cox for Central Catholic. Pass over on left wing for Moline. Tipped away from him. Cox will try again on the right wing side. This pass weakened, but, well, held briefly and now coughed up. Petrillo to the front of the net with that shot, and Lettieri hangs on with the glove. Just the second shot on goal for Canon Mac. Pardon me, third. The shots on goal are 14-3 at the moment. No power plays in this game, but the Vikings are tilting the ice regardless. In fact, power play is the one fly in the ointment for Central Catholic. The Vikings are just 4 for 40 on the season. I can do that math quickly. That's 10%. Right out in front, score on the rebound chance. And there's the captain, Beckham Alger, pushing the rebound of Josh Moline's shot into the goal behind Morgan. 3-0 Vikings. Yeah, they don't need any power plays. 3 even strength goals in this first. This one off the rush. And the defenseman Alger gets into the act, reading the play. Look at him stride up the middle. Center drive, and he was rewarded. It's like they say in basketball, reward the big man for making the run. In this case, reward the big man for busting it right up the center lane and cashing in his 5th goal of the year. Josh Moline, with that lovely low shot that so often leads to a rebound off the leg pads of the goaltender. And it did there again, really by no fault of the goalie, Morgan. Not a lot you can do there. Just boot it out and hope it doesn't go right to another member of the opposition. In that case, it did. And a whistle and a penalty. A Viking is down behind the play, cross-checking the call. Canon Mac guilty of the cross-check. Adam Scarilli appears to be the guilty party with 4:15 to go in the first period. Yes, it is Scarilli. The first penalty of this game. And yes, it is. A cross-check is called by referee Todd Hendry. At 12:45, well, now we do see that power play ranked 11th out of 11 teams get a chance here to make it a 4-0 game. Noah Ritz picked up a secondary assist on the Beckham Alger goal. 2 goals in just over 2 minutes to turn it from a 1-0 game to a 3-0 game. And the Vikings attacking against the 6th-ranked penalty kill, 6 out of 11 teams, of Canon Mac. Salvitti pointing. He wanted the play to go to the corner from Alger. Instead, the pass came to Salvitti, and he had to back out to the neutral zone. So the Vikings try to regroup here. Salvitti on the rush. Rocco Salvitti. Going wide against Thomas Laurie, that long frame, long reach. Left it behind. Beckham Alger. What a strong spin move that was to create some space. In the middle, Sam Gaffney taps it over. Backdoor Alger was open, but the pass didn't get through to him, and it's cleared. I believe that was Tyler Gaffney trying to make that pass across. Yes, it was. Scalise pulls it loose for a shot, but he misfired. Second minute of the power play. Salvitti one-touch pass over to Alger, who works his off wing as the defenseman. 2D out there for Central Catholic, kind of a rarity in today's game, in fact. We saw an Upper St. Clair power play in the previous game with 5 forwards. But Alger and Salvitti can more than handle their own on the blue line. And here is Alger protecting the puck against the defending of Franzik. Now to the far side, down to 24 seconds to go on this power play. Gaffney keeps it alive just inside the blue line. Near side, Alger right out in front of the net again. Still free. O'Donoghue kicks it to his stick and clears. So that'll do it for the power play most likely, barring something crazy here in the next 5 seconds. And Salvitti circles the wagons and simply shoots in wide of the goaltender Morgan with 2:15 left in the first. Again, tonight's game presented by the Academy of Podiatry. Thank you for your sponsorship of Week 15 in the PIHL. Sounds like a lot, but it is a long season, 5 months long. And then a little bit more, hopefully, if you play well. We started the first week of October. Really, the St. Margaret tournament in September. It gets things started unofficially in September, in fact. And yeah, a lot of these players are also playing amateur hockey away from their high school teams. As Post-Gazette columnist Gene Collier once said, the hockey season is becoming a lot like the school year in terms of length. He was referring to the NHL, but it's the same case really for these guys as well. There's a penalty coming, and it's against Central Catholic, in fact. So they'll go short for the first time. I believe that was Scalise who's having a seat. No, it's actually Doug Berthold, the junior. So with 1:31 to go in the period, Canon Mac gets its first power play. And they're 5th in the league. Not a lot of opportunities, just 39 in their 13 games. So just 3 per game exactly, but they've scored 7 times on the advantage. Scarilli takes that face-off win. Franzik hacking away at it. Tracana cross-rank. Wilcox took the shot. I think that was deflected off of a defender and out of play. Big Macs had a chance here before the end of the period to strike back. Central Catholic's penalty kill, though, has been strong. In fact, now it's the best in the league after Peters Township gave up 2 power play goals in tonight's opening game of the doubleheader. Berthold off for holding. This puck escapes out to center ice. In hot pursuit, Scalise, he spins around one of the Big Macs. That's a good chase there against Franzik to force the issue. And I believe that's icing against Canon Mac on the power play. 51 seconds remaining in the period. Alex Sarkis takes this draw for Central Catholic, but it's controlled by Wilcox and the Big Macs. The power play will continue for the rest of the period if Canon Mac doesn't score on it, that is. And it's offside this time with Aiden Freund carrying the puck in, but someone was ahead of him, apparently, on the far side of the ice. 16-3 are the shots on goal now. Morgan has stopped 13, but there's not enough offense generated by Canon Mac down to our right. soon to be down to our left in just about a half minute of play. Salvitti swings it out of the zone strongly on his forehand. Perhaps one last rush before the end of the period for the Big Macs, who are still not eliminated from the playoff race. They're 6 points out of the final spot. The top 8 out of 11 teams make it. Wilcox on the toss-in, chasing after it, but Salvitti's there first. So he had that head start. And again, cleared out to center as time runs out in the first period. A 3-spot in the first for Central Catholic on the road, trying to get back on the winning track and trying to climb into a first-place tie, a top-class AAA. They're off to a fantastic start. Goals from Scalise, Sam Gaffney, and Alger have them in fine position through 17 minutes. Back after a short timeout on 10 Band TV. So 29 seconds to go on the power play for Canon Mac. It's first of the game. This is Matt Gajtka speaking to you from Printscape Arena at South Point. Thank you for joining us for the second half of this PIHL doubleheader. Always tough to get things revved up again with the center ice face-off, and in this case, no fresh ice sheet as well. There's no resurfacing between the periods. The Vikings try to do as well as they can here with a shoot-in, but it'll be at least one more rush here for Canon Mac. Charging to the outside, good speed. Tricana is in behind the goal, but flipped out by the Vikings, and that'll do it for that power play. So both sides are 0 for 1 in this game. Wilcox denied on that edge rush. Hart back to Laurie. Put it on goal, but stick save by Patrick Letary, making his first appearance of the season for Catholic Central. Up the far wing. Ben Scotter across with that pass. Griffin Lewis couldn't handle. Vikings wind it up again. Good work by Pivich to stay on side as he gained the line, and his teammates for that matter. Gaffney's first shot was blocked. Put it right out in front. Great chance, but stop made on DeRazio, it looked like. Couldn't quite catch the number initially there. Now the battle on for the puck in the near corner. Scalise has it poked by him, and the Big Macs escape. Laurie holding and putting right to the front of the net, but didn't connect. Broken up at the line by Franzik, keeping it in the offensive zone for Canon Mac. Down 3-0, but still pushing here. Shot off the outside of the goal from the sharp angle, taken by Vitodian. Nudged out to center by Ben Scotter, pushed right back in. Back to even strength, 5-on-5. Central Catholic scored 3 at even strength in that first period of play. Looking for a sweep of the season series between these two teams with similar colors. Of course, The Vikings more of a purplish blue. Canon Mac with a royal blue look. Vatodian, big slap shot over the top against Lettieri, who went down to a knee, or both knees. A little frustration settling in there for Vatodian with his team down 3 early on. And a stoppage in play. I'm not sure what is going on. Is it a penalty? I don't think so. No, we stay at 5-on-5. Back to the blue line. Nudged in by Cox. To the side of the net and the side of the rink, rather, and fed out to center ice by Canon Mac, but right back into the clutches of Cox and the Vikings. Cox to the outside. Moline, who has an assist so far in this game. He tried to get another one there on the pass to Ritz, but it eluded his reach. Morgan pokes it away from his goal. Ritz runs over a Big Mac. That was Hart. Max Hart, the freshman, gets back up, though. This is his 9th game of the season. Lewis behind the net with that dish. Off to Moline. Lewis scanning and shooting and wide of the goal. And the blocker hand of Morgan. So the Vikings just methodically controlling this game. Doing what you'd expect them to do. You know, nothing's a sure thing. You still have to go out there and execute. The shots on goal were 16-3 in the first period. This one's off the glove of Morgan from the wrister by Cox. Long shift in the Canon Mac zone. Vikings trying to win by attrition at the moment. Fabian joins the fray. And he keeps this one in at the point. On the handoff, backhanded deep. And a penalty against the Vikings. Offensive zone penalty behind the net. Is that Gaffney who took it? Sure looked like it. Actually, it might have been Ritz. It is. Noah Ritz goes off for roughing. Interestingly enough. Probably could have been called a couple of different things. Sends the Big Macs back to the power play. Early in this second. They need one in a bad way. High wrister off the shoulder of Lettieri. That came from Scarilli. Out by the line. To the line. There's Scarilli down to a knee. To keep it viable. There's Edgar now. Swooping in. 4 Big Macs on the wall. They get it loose. Wilcox took the shot. Good job going down to block that, Ethan Pivich. And it deflects into the netting over the high glass. The shots are now 19-4 on frame, on goal in this game. This is the second Canon Mac power play. Scarilli across for a drive by Frantic, pardon me. That's off the blocker of Lettieri and cleared by the Vikings. Scarilli takes the handoff from his goaltender Morgan. Ships it up this near wing side. Tricana on the redirect. In deep, but latched onto by the Vikings and spun down the length again. We're into the second minute of the power play. Scarilli snaps a pass on far wing. That was a good one. Zach Wilcox goes to work. Pulling it away from pressure to the outside. Now a pass to Scarilli, back to Wilcox. Dug it out of his skates. Franzik, another high one, and another save by Lettieri, and this one again out of play. Rocco Salviti has 2 assists for his Central Catholic. He's the only guy with multiple points in this game, it looks like. Scalise, Gaffney, and Alger, Sam Gaffney, all scored in the first period. Nothing so far for either side in the second. Beckham Alger with a hard clearance. Out it goes again. Central Catholic has 1 shorthanded goal on the year, scored by Sam Gaffney. This cross-ring pass goes behind Adam Scarilli, out by the line. He's got a back pedal. But a good look onto Tricana. Leans in. 12 seconds left on the penalty to Ritz for roughing. Looks like he's going to be able to escape with no damage. One last shoot-in for Central Catholic right on the goal and handed off and swept out. Tonight's game brought to you by the Academy of Podiatry. You can still find opportunities to get your business some exposure on our PIHL broadcasts the rest of the season and on into the playoffs. Just go to 10band.tv. We've got a form there for you to use to contact. Here's a shot off the crossbar. Aiden Freund, best look of the night for Canon Mac by far. He throws his arm up in disgust as that one did not rattle home behind Lettieri. Exactly 10 minutes to go in the second. Alger rambling into the O-zone. His backhand goes behind the net as he's headed off for a change. Gaffney pulls up at the half wall, dropped it back to Cox. Took the wrister, that was blocked. Didn't get a lot on that one. To the outside in Costa, he's denied entry. Laurie back, put on his own net, and the goalie Morgan had to be aware to make that quote-unquote save with 9:32 left in the second. So no power play goals in this game. Josh Moline squaring off against Hart at the dot. Vikings control right to the front of the net. Shifty little shot there from Moline, just missed. He shot it against the grain, basically behind his back on his backhand. Here's a penalty coming up on a rough play at the side wall. Cox was battered down to the ice. Ben Vitodian is sauntering over to the penalty box for Canon Mac. Elbowing the call against Vitodian. That puts Central Catholic back on the power play. At 7:46 of the second. Chasing back Alger to Salviti. The 2-point men exchange the puck. Gaffney, actually it's 3 defensemen on this power play for Central Catholic right now. Tyler Gaffney. Rocco Salviti to the middle in the skates of Sam Gaffney, and he slugged it wide of the net. Trying to bank it in off the goaltender was Scalise once and twice. O'Donohue didn't take kindly to that. But Scalise ends up with the puck again. Second power play of the night for Central Catholic. Goes across the slot. Gaffney now over to Salviti on the centering play. Couldn't get it to Scalise in the middle, but not cleared. Tyler Gaffney holds it in. Up the far wing with that pass to Alger, who has a goal tonight. Alger on the give and go. Couldn't get the shot off on the return feed from Sam Gaffney. Alger to Tyler Gaffney out high. Alger center point. In the middle, nudged over to Salviti. Right back into the slot for Sam Gaffney, but he handled it. Went down to a knee, but couldn't take the pass. Under 8 to go in the second. More than halfway through this game now. Gaffney. No goals in the second period. High rising shot by Griffin Lewis. That stop made by Morgan. That drew a woo from the away bench, you might have heard. That was a hot shot, but Morgan equal to the task. Penalty time running out. Backhand saved by Morgan again. Back out to the line. Big blast score! What a shot from Ritz. Rings it upstairs on the full slapper. You don't see those too much these days anymore. But it's a 4th goal for Central Catholic. And a power play goal, I believe, right near the end of the opportunity. We'll take a look here. Maline's shot was denied initially, but played back to the point, and the blast from just atop the left circle finds the twine with 7:19 left in the second. Time of the goal, 9:41, so it was just 5 seconds before the end of that power play, adding insult to injury for Canon Mac. Lettieri makes the save on the shuffle shot from Freund, who hit the crossbar just a few moments ago. Maline gets his 2nd assist of the night. And for Noah Ritz, his 8th goal of the year. Looked like he knew what he was doing on that one, didn't he? The big blast. Cox, the defenseman, up in the play, backhands that feed from Fabian just wide of the net. Again and against the grain play. Fabian's on it again on his forehand. Centering. Chance there for a shot from D'Orazio, but he was confronted there and got his stick jammed up with a Canon Mac twig. Petrillo bumps it around a man for Canon Mac. Zanola turning off of pressure. It's Freund again in this near corner. 6:17 left in the second. Back to Petrillo. High shot from 40 feet out. Lettieri fought it off. Patrick Lettieri got after a win in his first appearance of the season. Vitodian, a nice backhand on the quick lift from really close range, point blank almost, nearly got it under the crossbar. That would have been something. He turned that from forehand to backhand in a hurry. Icing against Central Catholic. They've got Griffin Lewis with an assist on that goal as well by Ritz just moments ago. Central Catholic has scored 4 times on 22 shots. Canon Mac still hasn't gotten it to 10 yet. They're at 7 against Patrick Lettieri. Ethan Pivich in some tight quarters, made a good move, but guess what? A penalty's on the way. Interference against Beckham Alger and the Vikings. It's their 3rd penalty of the night. At 11:20 of the 3rd, Alger whistled for knocking the stick out of the hands of Grayson Costa, the freshman forward for Canon Mac, behind the net. Tricana with Edgar and Franzik and Wilcox and Scarilli on the point for Canon Mac on this power play. Oh, good play by Scarilli to knock it down, but he couldn't keep it in the zone, unfortunately for him. He's got to hustle on back. Made the feed to Wilcox, now on to Franzik on the far side. Weird bounce right out in front of the net. I'm not sure why Lettieri didn't play that, but I guess no harm, no foul on that as it's cleared quickly after the scramble in front. Oh boy, turnover by Morgan, and Ritz nearly had a second. Another special teams goal. Morgan giving that away, pushing the issue a little too much with that pass, coming well out of his crease. Of course, there's no trapezoid at this level. The goalies can go wherever they want, short of the red line at center ice. They can go anywhere behind the red line behind them. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. We're halfway through this power play, the 3rd of the night for Canon Mac. Obviously, they're empty on their first 2 chances. Pivich broke up the play at the line. Ethan Pivich has control and lifted it off the stick of Sam Gaffney. Not a high stick. Then immediately touched by Canon Mac anyway, so it didn't matter. Pick free. Here's a look. Lettieri makes a glove save. Rebound goes behind the net off the opportunity for Tricana. Goodness. That was promising for the Big Macs. Edgar had the first chance. He's only got the 1 goal on the year. I told you he's got 6 assists to lead the squad as a freshman. Edgar, number 97, on this near side now as Skrilli feeds it over to the far side. Bouncing in front, Lettieri telescopes out to make the save on Tricana. Vitodian and Edgar looking for a rebound. There was none. 11 seconds left on the penalty to Beckham Alger, the Central Catholic captain. Aiden Freund to take this face-off for Canon Mac against Dante Scalise, leading point getter for Central Catholic on the year. He's got another goal tonight. Give him 9 on the season, 22 total points. Central Catholic's killed off all 3 tonight. Freund charges in, left it back. Petrillo, that shot didn't get through. Freund on the backhand on the second opportunity. That also not online. Laurie overskated. Back comes Fabian, and he flubbed the shot. Good back pressure. Want to give credit for that as well. Freund turning to shoot. Good shot. Better save, and the rebound was in a dangerous area, but swept out of trouble by the Vikings. Cox gave it away at center. Oh, look at this move. And a shot. Save made on Vitodian. Rebound. And again picked up by the Vikings. The Big Macs just can't get on those second chances. They've had a few looks at those. They've had a crossbar in this period as well. And this is blown dead on the infraction against Canon Mac. Patrick Lettieri getting the start. Jacob Dold had previously played every minute of every game for Central Catholic, posting a 9-5-1 record, a 9-11 save percentage, a 2.39 goals against average, and 4 shutouts. Although Dold did give up 4 goals or more in 3 of the last 4 games, 2 of those losses. To Cathedral Prep, this is icing against Canon Mac, and to Bethel Park, also 4 goals allowed in a 7-4 win at home against Baldwin right after the new year. So the team defending has fallen on harder times recently after their 5-0 shutout victory against Peters Township before Christmas. Right to the front of the net again. And the Vikings just like to funnel pucks to the front and send bodies there. You can see what their offensive style is. Not that that's the only way they like to get it done, but it certainly worked tonight to the effect of 3 out of their 4 goals. And then Noah Ritz hammered one in. That was during a power play in this second period. Down to 2 minutes to go before the ice cut and the full intermission. David Chalet swings it around the wood, but taken away. Tyler Gaffney put it over the goal from 5 feet out, side of the net. Puck jumped over the stick of Sam Gaffney. Wilcox's wrister. That was blocked to the end wall. Alex Sarkis trying to escort this puck out to center ice. Can't do it. But swatted clear by the Vikings' Tyler Gaffney. Big blast, again, over the net against Lettieri. That's been a theme tonight, too, for Canon Mac. Just can't get these shots on target when they do get their opportunities. And coming in, you knew they had to make the most of their opportunities to get the job done and break this 5-game losing streak. Long head man pass for Central Catholic. It's on to Lewis. He wanted to find Ritz in front. Did not work. Down to 1 minute to go in the second period. Alger on the jam in play. Petrillo gunned it away from behind his net, but right into the teeth of that Vikings forecheck. But the Big Macs do survive that. Griffin Lewis all the way back in his own end as a forward. Lifted it over for Alger into his corner. Overskated, but forced out through center ice. And a counterattack chance. Lewis taking the shot. Save Morgan on a couple of those opportunities for Griffin Lewis. It's all over the ice here on this shift. Alger steps to and flips it off a stick high in the air. Look at that strong hold on his backhand. One hit on the stick to keep that alive. Lewis one more time. Save, rebound, save, rebound, save. Another chance in the slot. Moline. That was blocked. I think Lewis has 4 shots on goal on this shift. Down to 9 seconds to go in the period. Ritz bodied up, but he still made the play. Off to Moline. Now Ritz with 2 seconds. Makes the pass instead of shooting from the corner. And that's that for the second period of play. The teams are off to their respective locker rooms. The only goal in that second period by Noah Ritz, that man who just had the puck to end the period. Moline and Lewis on the assists. And Central Catholic is 1 period away, getting back on the winning track and getting into a first-place tie in Class AAA. We'll see if they can pull it off after this intermission on 10 Band TV. Keep it right here.
Well, I got sunshine. If I could catch it in a bottle, I would save it for a rainy day. Yeah. American boy, small hometown, little slice of heaven everywhere I look around. Got a baseball field, a swimming pool, a fishing hole and more. Got everything I need and it's right.
All across the United States, each state has what's called an immunization information system. Immunization information systems, or IIS, are confidential, population-based, computerized databases that record all immunization doses administered by participating providers to persons residing within a given geopolitical area. In the United States, every vaccination registry is a bit different, which can become daunting and confusing. Enter PubHub. PubHub solves this issue by giving its providers the ability to connect and communicate to the state registry with one connection and one data format. For example, if a patient has received the COVID-19 vaccine, PubHub allows the provider to see if the patient has already received the vaccine, keeping everything safe and organized for everyone.
2 jumbo iced caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino.
Extra caramel?
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Well, I got sunshine. If I could catch it in a bottle, I would save it for a rainy day. Yeah. American boy, small hometown, little slice of heaven everywhere I look around. Got a baseball field, a swimming pool, a fishing hole and more. Got everything I need and it's right.
All across the United States, each state has what's called an immunization information system. Immunization information systems, or IIS, are confidential, population-based, computerized databases that record all immunization doses administered by participating providers to persons residing within a given geopolitical area. In the United States, every vaccination registry is a bit different, which can become daunting and confusing. Enter PubHub. PubHub solves this issue by giving its providers the ability to connect and communicate to the state registry with one connection and one data format. For example, if a patient has received the COVID-19 vaccine, PubHub allows the provider to see if the patient has already received the vaccine, keeping everything safe and organized for everyone.
Two jumbo iced caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino.
Extra caramel?
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Well, I got sunshine. If I could catch it in a bottle, I would save it for a rainy day. Yeah. of heaven everywhere I look around. Got a baseball field, a swimming pool, a fishing hole, and more. Got everything I need, and it's right.
All across the United States, each state has what's called an immunization information system. Immunization information systems, or IIS, are confidential, population-based, computerized databases that record all immunization doses administered by participating providers to persons residing within a given geopolitical area. In the United States, every vaccination registry is a bit different, which can become daunting and confusing. Enter PubHub. PubHub solves this issue by giving its providers the ability to connect and communicate to the state registry with one connection and one data format. For example, if a patient has received the COVID-19 vaccine, PubHub allows the provider to see if the patient has already received the vaccine, keeping everything safe and organized for everyone.
The third period is moments away from Printscape Arena at South Point. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is 10-Band TV. Our presentation of High School Hockey Night Live, Week 15 in the PIHL rolls on. This is our sixth and final period of the night. Actually, this is going to be our seventh period of the night if you count the overtime from Game 1, 6-5. Upper St. Clair came in here and beat Peters Township, although PT did get a point from that result, and as a result of that, PT is tied with Seneca Valley and North Allegheny for first place in Class AAA. But they could all soon have some company if Central Catholic can convert this 4-0 lead into a win this evening in this nightcap game. 9 o'clock start, getting close to 10:30 with a drop of the puck here for the third period. 17 minutes loaded on that center-hung scoreboard clock at the building formerly known as the Isoplex, now Printscape Arena for the last several years. Freund for Canon Mac, couldn't make a play. Central Catholic on the breakout. Tapped along to the far wing, Sam Gaffney. Looking for a return pass now from Dante Scalise as he circled in behind the net. Scalise was bumped off the puck. Here's Petrillo for Canon Mac, unable to get out of the zone. Poked back in for Scalise. Fantastic work from Ben Scudder to keep that puck in the attacking zone, but it does slide out to center ice anyway with Beckham Alger. Feeding it over on near wing to PIHL. In the corner, Gaffney. Back to PIHL. Cross rink, finds Alger, took that shot. Morgan made the save, and he lunged back looking for the rebound. Ended up safely in the corner. Centering pass eludes everybody. And 1 minute into this third period, the goaltender, Patrick Lettieri, the senior, starting and playing for the first time this season, nudged it away from his net. Now he's going to let it go in behind the goal. And Evan Ben Scudder on it there for the Vikings. Turned toward the front by Max Hart of Canon Mac, and cleared out again by the guys in deep blue and gold. Central Catholic attacking the goal down to our left in this third period. They put in 3 in that goal in the first. 1 in the goal to our right in the second period. Ritz, who scored that goal in the second period, has another chance here, and it's into the glove of Morgan. And he stops the music with 15 minutes to go in the third. Well, Canon Mac, I told you they're not officially out of the playoff chase yet. 8 out of 11 teams make it in Class AAA. Baldwin holds that last spot. They're currently tied with Bethel Park, but they have 1 fewer regulation loss than Bethel Park at 11 points. 11 points is the cutoff line as of right now. Canon Mac has 5 points, so they're 6 out, or 3 wins out. 3 games back, if you want to look at it from that perspective. Tyler Gaffney, oh goodness, he got all that shot. Might have been rolling when he shot it. It was a lacrosse-style look to that shot as it slung off the end boards and now cleared up over the glass. There's a look at Bubba's Burgers on the far side of the rink. Earlier today, we had a celebration of the 20th anniversary of the Peters Township 2002-03 state championship team. Team that won it all in AA in the Penguins Cup and in the state competition. But the Indians could not get the victory there to cap off the special night for the program. Although it was quite the game against Upper St. Clair. Go back and check out some of those highlights, some of those goals on our archive on the PIHL page on 10band.tv. I don't think I've said it all night, but you can catch us on Amazon Fire TV and Roku. Chalet right to the front. Good chance there on the rebound, but again, the Big Macs can't collect it. They've had a few of those tonight that have just missed their sticks on this follow-up chances. Turned in front of the goal, looking for Lewis. Was Moline on the pass. Moline's got a couple of assists by my scorekeeping in this game. Lettieri fended that one off on the shot from center ice. And right back into the neutral zone. No goals, no penalties yet in this third period. This is icing against Central Catholic. Rocco Salviti has a couple of assists for Central Catholic to give him 5 on the year from the blue line. Beckham Alger has a goal, defender for Central Catholic. Noah Ritz has a goal and an assist. The puck's poked away from Lettieri. One-time shot by Scarilli. Goes in behind the goal. And an errant pass here to this near side. Escapes out to center ice again. Scarilli circles and tosses in. Cox on the handoff here to Ben Scudder, or pardon me, that was Doug Berthold. Pardon me. Not cleared, though. Canon Mac trying to break the shutout. As of right now, that's the goal. Kenny McMillan had a couple of bounce-back seasons. including a couple of years ago, and they were one of the top seeds going into the Class AAA playoffs. But this year, struggling to get out of the basement. It's their only game of the week. We have a lot of their games on 10-band TV. We've seen a lot of this squad. Hope for better for them. Much as we can root, of course, in every game. As the as the great Jim Carrey once said, there must be a winner and a loser. Although if you get to overtime, it eases the sting, doesn't it? Trying to pick his way toward the net was Berthold. It's poked off his stick. Now in the middle of a shot that was blocked from D'Orazio. Well, it was a good opportunity, but the Big Macs protected the house. To the line, Gaffney overskated the puck. And back comes Costa. Deflected shot ends up in the corner. Canon Mac's got Mount Lebo on the road next week, then Seneca Valley to close out the month. And then 4 games in the month of February, which will be the final month of the regular season once again. No games into March. Non-playoff games, that is. Snap pass by PIHL goes right through the slot. Aaron Daly put that into the mix. But no one got a stick on that either. At least no one in purple. Alger took it on the backtrack, gave it away, and Lettieri had to make the save there on Vitodian's turning wrister. PIHL set sail. Ends up in the left corner with this puck, but he's bumped off the biscuit by Ethan Franzik. Up the ice to try to keep that in. Scalise, but unsuccessfully. Offside against the Vikings. It's kind of a slow start to this period. Not a lot of opportunities. 1 or 2 at either end. The shots on goal are 29-11 in favor of, you guessed it, Central Catholic. Just 1 shot apiece on goal in this third period, though. So I was right, a bit of a slow start, a lot of a slow start, in fact. It wasn't the case in our first game, where the third period was highly entertaining, highly, well, you could say erratic, but I'll say unpredictable. Less of a derogatory term there. 2 goals apiece, setting up overtime, where Upper St. Clair got the win on a hat trick goal by Colin Ruffner. Score on the goal down to our left right now. Sam Gaffney, right-handed shooter, on his backhand, out by the blue line. Handed it off. Now he gets it back on the one-timer. That hit a skate on its way to the net. So Canon Mac doing a much better job of preventing shots from getting through. Just when I say that, the shot scores from the point. 5-0, Central Catholic on a wired wrister from Tyler Gaffney. His 4th of the season from the blue line with 9:41 to go. So the Vikings fed it around the wagon wheel. It went from Ben Scotter to Salvitti to Gaffney. And if it's not deflected, Salvitti and Ben Scotter will get the assists on the same goal for the second time tonight. Goal scored at 10:23 of the third period, a classic screenshot. The second goal of the night by a Central Catholic defender. And both Gaffneys are on the board as well. Petrollo on the pass breakup. He's got some opportunity here to take a shot, and he does. But it's tipped off the rink by Cox, Nathan Cox. 9 minutes left in regulation time. So a 3-point night for Rocco Salvitti, 3 assists. 2 for Ben Scotter. 2 for Moline. Salvitti, who came into the night with just 5 total points in 10 games. He's coming close to doubling that. Well, this game's not over yet either. Two-man rush for Central Catholic. Lewis was making a beeline to the back post, but the shot came to the front post by Josh Moline on the right wing. That line stays out there. Ritz, Lewis, and Moline. Listed as the second line on the line chart for Central Catholic. Hard drive from Moline. That got nothing but glass. Off his shot from the top of the right circle. Moline made a pass. No one was there, though. He saw something out of the corner of his eye. I think it was Braden Edgar of Canon Mac who was the one who picked it off in the end. Halfway through this third period, and we've seen nothing to indicate that Central Catholic will not skid out of here with a victory, but we're not ready to call it just yet. That pass eluded the reach of Ritz. It is H-R-I-T-Z. By the way, that's icing. You know, I get into player spelling. I'm somewhat searching for topics, but I think it's interesting. Central Catholic has a player with H-R as the first two letters of its last name. There was a player with that same start to his last name on Canon Mac for many years. Josh Rip, H-R-I-P. But anyway, I was going to say Ritz, not like the cracker. This is spelled with an H at the front of it. Tricana tries to emerge out in front. Cleared, but, well, right to a Viking. Berthold skips it cross rink, off a skate, in deep. With under 8 to go in regulation and likely the game with a 5-0 Vikings lead over the Big Macs. Tonight on 10-band TV. Ben Scotter dropped it on back. There's a shot right into the chest of James Morgan, and he hangs on to it. Tonight's game brought to you by the Academy of Podiatry. Thank you for your sponsorship of Week 15 of the PIHL schedule. We've got a few yet to go. It's going to be at least 20, if not 21, before we get to the end of the regular season. DeRazio wanted to pick his way toward the middle, but the puck's popped off his blade, pardon me. Wrister by Zanola, stop made by Lettieri. Central Catholic looks for its 5th clean sheet of the season, although the first 4 authored by Jacob Dold in net. Backdoor play, bounces away from Aaron Daly. He can't control. Gaffney's reaching in. He couldn't get there either. Scarilli settles things down for Canon Mac. Pass too hard for Petrillo to handle, though, and it's right back to Gaffney and the Vikings. Central Catholic's got another game later this week on Thursday at home against Upper St. Clair. Keep an eye on that one. Two teams trying to break that stranglehold held by the big three in Class AAA the last several seasons. Peters Township, North Allegheny, and Seneca Valley. This is going to be a penalty against Canon Mac, our first penalty of this third period, with 6:18 to go in it. And the call is hooking against Canon Mac, sending the Vikings to their third power play. Aiden Freund has that guilty look as he heads off to the box at 10:42. The Vikings are 1 for 2 on the night, so they've got their 5th power play goal of the year. They're over 10% now. Still an item of improvement for Bill Connolly's squad. And a quick clear for Canon Mac as the Vikings have what you would call their second unit out there right now. Couldn't control here. Near the blue line, Moline doubling back. churning those legs, gets into the offensive zone, and wanted to go short side, top shelf. Morgan held the post. Moline wanted to drag it out in front again. Instead, it hops over to a teammate. Now to the point. Snapshot from George misses. PIHL protecting against Edgar and did a good job with it. Back to PIHL on left point. Over to Billy George. George and PIHL. 2D out here. Ritz right through the top of the crease with that pass. Ritz scored the power play going into the end of the power play in the second period. Lead feed. Here comes Edgar, and he's defended well from behind. Good job there to lift his stick. No penalty on the play. Couldn't catch the number of the Viking who did it. That's a shame because he deserves a shout out. That looked like that was going to be, if not a breakaway, but a clean chance on goal. This is driven off the concrete wall on the far side of the ice over the glass where the banners are hung. So the faceoff will stay in Canon Mac real estate with 28 seconds left on this power play. The third of the game for Central Catholic. I was saying they have Upper St. Clair later this week. They have 2 more games before the end of the month, in fact, back-to-back Mondays. Hold that thought. Backhand chance for Sam Gaffney. That hit something and bounced wide. But the Vikings will play just 1 game in February on the 23rd. They have 3 weeks off coming up. Be tough to keep the edge, but that's the way the schedule was made. As they prepare for what's going to be a playoff berth, almost assuredly, at this point. I think it is assured, honestly. Alger ripped it wide. Penalty's over. The Vikings are 1 for 3 tonight. Back to the line and whipped right through the front of the goal. That time by Salvitti. Ben Scotter to Gaffney, who just barely keeps it in the offensive zone. But we do return to 5-on-5 play. And Canon Mac tries to get a goal, but not for right now. They got to defend here. Shot from Ben Scotter. That didn't get through to the net. Stepping up Salvitti on the right side. Into the middle, Ben Scotter. Passed a little behind him. Couldn't drag it to the net. Now he gets it right back, and he puts it on goal, peppering Morgan, who made the save with his shoulder. Grayson Costa with an opportunity, but his backhand, soft one from the outside, routinely handled by Lettieri. Getting close to 3 minutes left in this one. Lettieri on the verge of debuting with a goose egg on the goals against category. And no, I don't believe in the broadcaster jinx. Here's a look for a 6th goal, and it knocks the stick out of the hands of Morgan. Follow-up opportunity by Sarkis. That goes off the far side glass. I think that was Scalise who had that chance. Sarkis with Ben Scotter. Now Scalise hopping out of the zone on his skates. Poked it behind the defender Laurie, but his partner O'Donoghue is on the spot to take control. O'Donoghue couldn't push it out. Dante Scalise, who scored the opening goal just 2 minutes into this game to set the tone, and he gets hit by that shot from the outside. Look for Sarkis now, and he's denied. He wanted to go between the legs of Morgan. And Morgan handles this point shot that flutters into his glove with 2:07 remaining. So anyway, the remaining schedule for Central Catholic, playing its 16th game as of right now. Upper St. Clair Thursday, next Monday at Baldwin, the following Monday hosting Mount Lebo, and then all the way on the 23rd of February, they'll welcome Seneca Valley for the 20th and final regular season game of their schedule. There's a chance. Vatodian stopped nearly on the doorstep for Canon Mac. Can't say they haven't had their looks tonight. They've had one off the post, and they don't have a lot of volume, but good percentage of their now 13 shots on goal have been in the scoring area. And there was another one. Could probably have 1 or 2 with any kind of luck in this game. or any kind of finish in this game. Put it a couple of different ways, can't you? I know luck is somewhat of a misunderstood term. Doesn't mean unearned necessarily. But anyone who's played sports knows fortune, luck, bounces, randomness, whatever you want to call it, has a role in the way things go. Just try to play enough that it doesn't factor into the final decision, but a lot of times it does. PIHL clears it away from behind his net. Fabian right into the bench with that deflected clear. 58 seconds away from Central Catholic, winning for the 4th time in 6 games since a 2-game losing streak. And it's Edgar on the face-off for Canon Mac. Poked it forward, but right to a Viking. Reversed in behind the goal. Edgar. Now Costa looked up, and that cost him the puck because it was swatted away to the corner. But Edgar follows on. Helping out his teammate. Edgar looking back door. Oh my, it jumped right over the stick of the teammate. A shot, score! There will be no shutout tonight. The blast from, I think it was Scarilli, out at the top of the left circle. It is Adam Scarilli, the senior, scoring his 4th goal of the season just after we nearly had a backdoor goal on the Edgar pass. The stick was lifted. I think it was Freund, but then there's Scarilli hammering that one into the top corner, ruining the shutout bid of Patrick Letary. So it won't be a shutout in his first game of the year, but it will be a win, and it's looking like it's just going to be 1 goal against for Letary. But Canon Mac not blanked tonight. They've been shot out a couple of times this year. Petrillo aiming to make it 2 goals. Just near side, Lamego hammering away well wide of the goal with that knuckling puck. Petrillo, maybe one last chance, but he loses control, and Daly scoots it out to center ice for the Vikings, and that's it. Central Catholic picks up a 5-1 win. They get back on the winning track, and they will return home to host Upper St. Clair in an intriguing matchup on Thursday. The Vikings are now tied for first place in the Class AAA. How about that? A 4-way tie now between Peters Township, Seneca Valley, North Allegheny, and the Vikings of Central Catholic. 5 different goal scorers tonight for the Vikes. Scalise, Sam Gaffney, Beckham Alger, Tyler Gaffney, and finally Noah Ritz with a power play goal. 1 power play goal, 4 even strength goals for the Vikings. And on the Canon Mac side, Adam Scarilli, just saw him power one home with a rip into the upper right corner. But Patrick Letary picks up the victory in his first appearance of the season. He ends up facing just the 15 shots in the game, but he stopped 13 of them. 37 shots for Central Catholic, so that means Morgan made 32 saves in the Canon Mac goal. Well, thank you for joining us for tonight's High School Hockey Night Live doubleheader on 10-Band TV. My name is Matt Gajtka. Todd Kazarowski and crew have been working hard all night to bring you the broadcast, which is, as always, available on the archive page at the PIHL icon on the front page of the 10-Band TV website, found at 10band.tv. That's where you can find all of our broadcasts from the entire season as we roll on now next week into Week 16. And one last thank you to the Academy of Podiatry for their sponsorship of this game broadcast. Again, your final score, Central Catholic 5, picking up their 10th win of the year, moving into first place, and Canon Mac 1. Good night, and we'll talk to you next time on 10-Band TV.